Deze keer in tegenlicht. I Am Gurgaon. Een nieuwe stad bij New Delhi. De fysieke verschijning van het groeiende economisch zelfvertrouwen van India.
My first and foremost requirement was space. 3 children require a lot of space to move around within the house and also around the house. I wanted accessibility to a park. I got that here. I wanted safety and security above everything else. When my children go to the park, I want to be sure that yes, nobody's going to pick one of them or no vehicle is going to run them down. A kind of gated community. We are sensitive, we have like-minded people in Nirvana, so that's what I like. So we understand each other. That's one of the best things that Nirvana offers. Safety, security, the openness, the space. You can't get it anywhere.
This being a gated colony, we don't have issue of strays or any stranger just walking into your home and ringing your doorbell. They need to put their name and they need to give the address of the house that they're going to visit. Only if the guard is quite certain that this person seems to be okay, he will let them in. I mean, our son can go and open the door for us whenever it rings, which we would have normally never have done. But it is possible in a place like Nirvana.
2, 3.
Did you learn last year or did you learn this year? Thank you, baby. Mera toast lana.
I learned last year. I learned the year before that.
Okay. But are you going for a holiday?
Yeah.
Where? Kerala?
Yeah. I'm going to Koga village.
No. You're going to Switzerland.
And after that I'm going to go to Koga village.
Koga village. The ninja village.
Well.
We had a vision of this place and we made our dream come true with our house here. Meant a lot of money for 2 people, young people who are working in the very beginning of their lives. But we are very happy that we took that chance.
There was some kind of crunch within Delhi city, it lacked space. Delhi had to expand out of Delhi into nearby areas. Gurgaon somehow happened to be the place where a lot of technically qualified people came in and they started setting up their base. So when technically qualified people came, a lot of multinationals from abroad also decided to open up offices. A lot of talent moved in. Talent in the sense, talent which was all over the world. The brain drain from India found it comfortable to come back to Gurgaon with the economic growth that India saw. So everything came together at the right time. And that's probably the reason, I think, one of the most important factors for Gurgaon to have seen this kind of growth.
Gurgaon is actually catering to the young, urban, mobile couple, so who've either just about gotten married, so they go and live in these high-rise buildings which cater to two-bedroom apartments, etc., a studio kind of look, and also to young families with 1 or 2 children, which is where we feature. So they are progressive, they are moving, they are modern, they have been exposed to the world, they expect the good things of life, and that is what Gurgaon offers to them in terms of clubs, in terms of infrastructure, commercial space, shopping areas, malls. These are things that we see when we are traveling. This is what we expect back in return when we come back to our country.
Gurgaon has been basically created by builders. In my view, Gurgaon is the place where there is globalization. It's one of the most modern areas that people all over the country look forward to. They feel that yes, if there's something happening in the country, if there's something that's growing in the country, Gurgaon is one of those places. A Singapore for India.
Anyone who's graduated out of colleges now will likely end up in jobs in Gurgaon, Bombay or Bangalore. I work in a management consulting firm. It's one of the world's top 3 management consulting firms. At campus, different companies who were in this field came and we interacted with them. And after I chose this company, I came to Gurgaon. Gurgaon has happened recently. So 10 years ago, all that you see around wasn't here. It's a very new phenomenon that was just developed only for companies, only for MNCs to come in and work. So it was to an extent customized for MNCs to be present in.
Number 2, in 2 big states, the Congress seems to have done unexpectedly well.
I live here with a flatmate who was with me in college and is also a colleague at Bain & Company. My decision to live in a complex for A, convenience, because all these facilities are available in a complex. B, security. Like each apartment complex has 15, 20, 30 guards. So we are safe here. And C, it has power backup. So the moment we get a power cut, the backup generators kick in and we can continue watching TV, switching on our AC and all those things. Continue living a normal life. Do you want juice or something? I'm ordering. Order. हाँ needs? यार मैं P1B98 से बोल रहा हूँ. एक मैंगो जूस, एक ग्रेप जूस. The 2-3 biggest developers, they have made Gurgaon what it is. This is entirely privately developed.
My flat number, Regency Park 2, DLF Phase 4, Gurgaon. Actually, DLF Phase 4 is also in a sector that the government, Haryana government, the state government has marked out, but no one talks about the sectors. So no one, in a sense, talks about the government. That is also within a government demarcated sector. People only refer to themselves as living in a DLF designed area because it's more prestigious. My daughters are certainly on private property when they go from their bedroom to their schoolroom. They leave their bedroom, go out of the door, catch the lift downstairs, out of the complex, and the school gate opens out into our complex. So they don't have to cross any roads or anything like that. That was initially one of the important reasons why we chose to live here, because from the bedroom to their school is, about 5 minutes walk. I think one of the biggest complaints that people who live here have is that there's a vast difference between the inside and the outside. So the inside is well planned, there are flowers and there are roads, but the outside of Gurgaon is quite different because the outside was also developed by the private companies earlier, but now it's not very clear as to who should be looking after the outside. Is it the government or should it be the private developer? Because the private developers have built and they've kind of gone to other projects.
and Manas, I hope you're not.
मुझे गुदगुदी कर रहा है, ये मुझे मार रहा है.
So no doing things that you don't like. Good afternoon, Ji. Nice and cool. Come, let's go.
What globalization has done to India is introduced privatization, which is good for middle class lives. Everything in Gurgaon is privatized. Security is privatized. Your garbage collection is privatized. Electricity is to a large extent privatized because when the power goes off, you have a backup generator which you pay for because it is a diesel-run generator. That the future is about these kinds of spaces where one can control public activities. These are the spaces that allow an intense interaction between people who are similar.
Now we're going to the golf club. We are going to swim now. Here, 20 for Madha. Madha, but you have to give 10 rupees to one person and 10 rupees to another person. Here, Manas, this is for you. Now we will find
10 rupees for one person and
10 rupees to one person. You know that 10 rupees is a lot of money for the poor people. So we should try and help.
Really? 10 rupees is a lot?
Yes, for them. So we should try and help as many of them as we can. Okay? So we have to find 4 beggars today. Maybe before the DLF club, we might find them.
Mama, beggars मिल गए.
Where? On the traffic light behind? Or when we are going
See,
back?
here. तो से ये तो
But
गाड़ी
remember to
जाती
give
है.
each beggar only one, okay?
Let's leave the car with someone.
We have to stop for checking. हाँ?
मेंबर या किसी साथ
मेंबर है भैया, देख लो मेंबरशिप.
जो भी कैमरा पे आता है वो इस पे आता है. ठीक से नहीं दिखता तो से.
Hey boys, nobody found no beggar. Okay, who's going to find peacocks? Do you think we'll find any today? I can see a crow sitting.
मुझे भी नहीं लगता कि आज पीकॉक्स मिलेंगे.
I would say Gurgaon is a little unreal for foreigners because what foreigners get to see is just the tip of the iceberg. Reality, things are so different. How are these offices functioning? Who made these buildings? It is so unreal that it's like a bubble which will burst. How long can you keep these two things apart?
गर्मी है, ध्यान रखना इस चीज का, कोई भी आदमी छुप के नहीं बैठेगा।
In fact, in India, we are a spoilt lot, and we believe that if in India you have enough money, you can live like a king. We have in-house maids, and they do have quarters for them, which have been located near the kitchen. So their proximity to the kitchen, which is where they're mostly working, they have their little quarter with an attached toilet. So they do have that taken care of.
नहीं तो पिटेगी क्या? नहीं वो आपका है ना? हाँ। तो ले रख दो ना, ले लो। हाँ रख दे अभी।
My maid is somebody who's living in my family. She represents my home. How she looks, how she lives is how she keeps the house. You know, a lot of people come and tell me, your maid is very well dressed. I said that's because of the exposure she's had. You know, if she sees that I am frivolous about things, she herself will be frivolous. If I'm very particular about things, about the way I look, how I dress, how I keep my house, she's going to grow up to be like that, which is what she is. So her quarters, her toilets are inspected by me as well. So she lives just as well as we do. Considering that India is a country full of population that is majorly rural and below the poverty line, it is still very difficult to find a maid because she needs to have a good background and she needs to be acceptable visually as well as behavior. So yeah, I had to educate her in terms of the way she spoke and her behavior, in terms of her dressing, and of course we teach them how to do the cooking and service, etc. Yes, so that had to go. That had to be she had to be trained.
खाना नहीं बनाओगे आज? मैं भी जाके बनाऊंगी। पता नहीं कितनी टाइम लग जाएगा।
People living here, a lot of them have pets, and you have doggy poop on the roads, and it's really a big problem here because you have a lot of the domestic people who are not actually trained to clean up the litter after the dog's been there. So I would think educating your domestic help, not only in terms of your regular household chores, you should also tell them that if you're living in a community, there are certain responsibilities that we need to take care of.
मैं सुबह उठती हूँ 6 बजे और नहा के नीचे जाके 6:30 में बच्चों के लिए दूध गर्म करती हूँ। उसके बाद उन लोगों के लिए खाना बनाती हूँ, रोटी, और मैं सर मैम के लिए ब्रेकफास्ट बना देती हूँ और लंच बॉक्स बना देती हूँ। और सर मैम 9:30 बजे चले जाते हैं। उसके बाद तो बर्तन करना है, डस्टिंग करना है और आयरनिंग करना है, रूम सफाई। हमें अंदर जाने बाहर जाने नहीं देते हैं, तो परमिशन मांगते हैं। और हम लोग सिर्फ ये गेट है ना, तो वही घूमते रहते हैं, वॉक करते हैं मेरे फ्रेंड के साथ। खाए ना अब खानुपर्छ। कति बजी अहिले? बिहान कति बजी जान्छ स्कुल? ये तो एक मैं हूँ और इसका बेटी है और दूसरा मेरा भाई है और 7 साल की है। ये मेरे गांव में है, घर में। जब हम नवंबर में गए थे दिवाली में, तब खींच के लाया है।
घर कितनी बार जाती हैं साल में?
साल में तो 1 बार जाती हूँ। तो जब भी मैं फ़ोन करती हूँ, मुझे एक ही बेटी है तो इतनी दूर है, मुझे बात करने की मन करती है, तो मैं फ़ोन करती हूँ, वो बोलती है पैसे इतने रोज़ फ़ोन मत करो, पैसे ख़राब हो जाएगा, पैसे ख़त्म हो जाएगा, तो कभी कभी महीने में 1 बार 2 बार फ़ोन करो, ऐसे बोलते हैं वो। मैं बहुत पढ़ना चाहती थी और अच्छे से नौकरी करना चाहती थी। 4 बहन में 3 बहन तो नहीं पढ़ सका और वो तीनों मेरी बेटी के साथ 3 हैं, उन लोगों को हम तीनों मिलके बहुत ज़्यादा पढ़ाना चाहते हैं, तो हम लोग जैसे नहीं बनाना चाहते हैं। और नहीं, मैं ज़्यादा पढ़ाना चाहती हूँ।
हाँ मीता, आ जाओ आ जाओ। ठीक है, इसके जो धागे होते हैं ना, इसको काट दिया करो या निकाल दिया करो, ठीक है। तुम्हारे पास था कुछ काम? नहीं था? अच्छा ठीक है, तुम लोग वेट करो, अभी ममता आएगी तो फिर चलेंगे गाड़ी, ठीक है। बैठ जाओ, कुर्सी ले लो चाहे बाहर से।
The kind of people who come to work and help you are not the professional kinds. They have worked as farmers. They're very eager to learn, and also they have no choice. If there is no farmland to till, this is their only way of earning. So why not make them acquire a skill? Something that they will learn. The girls are not allowed to step out of their houses. Why don't we teach them something? We got into vocational training and started stitching classes for maids, their daughters, poor women in the slums. Something that they can earn from, something they don't have to step out for. We had a school coming up, a building coming up next to my house. I called the children from the construction site to study every day to my doorstep. Called up friends and asked them to volunteer.
जोर से बोलो, आवाज आनी चाहिए। सब मिलके 3 4 5 6.
And they have left their homes. Their parents are working as construction people. What is going to happen to these children? They belong nowhere because they're all immigrants from different parts of the country. You have Nirvana, where a villa like mine costs maybe about $650,000. Half a kilometer down, you'll find the slums. Slums include construction site workers who are earning $3 a day. We started a no plastic campaign around Nirvana and taught the women to make paper bags out of old newspaper, to recycle newspaper. The bags are being sold in the nearby markets, and residents like us are using those bags. It's the women who are not going to the construction sites we are working with. We felt they are the women who have maybe 3 hours a day. When the children are asleep, the food has been made, the husbands are at work, so they can acquire a skill.
बनाएंगे। हाँ नमस्ते, कैसी हो? हाँ ठीक हो? क्या हाल है? ठीक है? नमस्ते। नमस्ते किरण। हाँ जी नमस्ते। नमस्ते। गुड मॉर्निंग। गुड मॉर्निंग।
When the women learned this, they could make maybe about $1 a day, which is a lot of money for them, just by spending 2 hours.
शांति बहुत अच्छा। इसको थोड़ा सा चिपका दो, ये है ना, इसमें नहीं।
We donated some sewing machines, microfinance some. We told them that yes, we'll pay half of the money and half of the money you can earn by stitching something for us. My team of volunteers gets bags, mobile covers, and we give them stitching charges. They look at us, but they are nowhere near us. They don't get to participate or become a part of that kind of Gurgaon, but they can just see it from a distance. So with that kind of growth that they are seeing, a lot of crime is growing in them. They don't have the education. They didn't expect, they didn't anticipate all this.
इसमें आए नहीं है तो क्या करें दीदी नहीं लेके आए। घर में होगा। तेरे घर में होगा। नहीं है दीदी। नहीं है। ये देखो मैं आके देख रही हूँ।
The mall culture that they are exposed to is something so unreal. They can never be a part of it. But the more they see it, the more the frustration level rises. They want to be a part of it, they have to spend that kind of money, but where is the money? It can only be possible if everything is in tandem, if the government makes it possible that everybody grows together. But the local contractor told us about a month back that please be prepared, they can be asked to go. So whatever work you want to do on a social cause, you just have a few months to do that. They're not going to be here for long, which means that they're all prepared, that the global meltdown is going to stay for some time, and the slum area people are not going to be the ones who can be uplifted.
Auntie, Auntie, bye. See you, Saroj. हाँ भैया, टाइम पास कर रहे हो?
हाँ क्या करें?
क्यों? इस टाइम दुकान का काम करना?
लेबर ही नहीं है जी, क्या लेबर नहीं है ना? लेबर सब काम पर जाते हैं, शाम के टाइम काम चलता है। अब और नहाना धोना खाना खाया।
कुछ कमी हुई? कुछ क्या लेबर वापस भी चली गई होगी ना?
ना बहुत काफी गई लेबर, अब तो कुछ भी नहीं। अब आएगी लेबर, आएगी पर 6 महीना तक आ जाएगी।
अब देखो फिर कितने दिन में आती है, कब नहीं आएगी।
अच्छा, तो जब काम तेजी से शुरू होगा फिर दोबारा।
हाँ तब।
अभी थोड़ा मंदा चल रहा है।
अभी थोड़ा मंदा भी है ना, पेमेंट भी लूज है।
तो फैमिली भी तो बहुत घर चली गई है।
हाँ बहुत ज्यादा
है ना, पिछले यही 3-4 महीने में ना
बहुत ज्यादा गई।
4000 लेबर थी, अब लेबर यहाँ कम से कम 150-200 होगी बड़ी मुश्किल से।
अच्छा ठीक है, अच्छा।
Everything has come to a standstill. Major projects have just shut down, just standing where they are.
Hello?
We've been looking for office space for my husband. Prices have crashed. Builders are offering prices for almost half the price they were about 8 months back.
But I think this is Sona Road. This is not Sona Road. This is the golf course extension road. Okay, which one is the Sona Road? Sir, Sona Road, when you go straight, you hit this 60-meter road. You take a right turn. हम यहाँ पे बैठे हुए हैं अभी. अच्छा. नहीं, हमारे को किसी ने सच्ची बात बताऊँ तो गाइड किया था कि यहाँ 34 के करीब माल मिल जाएगा.
कुछ 34 तक वो कह रहे हैं ना, तो हम तो कहते हैं कि 32 में भी मिल जाएगा, आप बैठोगे तो.
अच्छा, उसमें क्या वजह है?
उसमें पीछे आपके सारे मजदूर हैं, पीछे
अदर्स लैंड
है पीछे.
See, this is a good reason in the sense कि जैसे आप बता रहे हैं कि जो कॉस्टिंग आपकी अगर आप कंस्ट्रक्ट करें, बट हेयर पीपल प्रेफर रेडी टू मूव इन कि कौन टेंशन लेगा कंस्ट्रक्शन की.
लेकिन ये रेट में कुछ ज़्यादा ही फर्क हुआ. 200 गज का अगर आदमी प्लॉट लेता है तो 34-68 लाख रुपए हुए.
Swedish massage room, aromatic therapy centers, meditation stream, gymnasiums, indoor and outdoor pools, poolside wireless connectivity, putting greens, golf, this. Now, who doesn't want to live there? Tell me, especially if you've got the money. Who does not want to live here? And of course, we understand that you can't get heaven on earth and all that stuff. But when you're playing with sentiments of people with money and all that stuff, we want to believe that there's going to be heaven on earth. So we're currently going to this residential complex where I and 250 to 300 others have invested our money, not in terms of investment, but actually in terms of the promise of better living, the dream. And we're all dream merchants. You know, we want to live and have good dreams. But this is turning out into a bloody nightmare. That building on the left there, that side there, you see the unfinished ones? That's World Spa there, up there. We as residents now, buyers of these properties, we formed our own little committees and groups to check whether these builders are now putting our money where their mouth is once again. Here.
So before we go on,
Here, another group. I mean, like us, there being a lot of people in the world are being motivated by what the Unitech World Spa Group has done. By the way, both for DLF,
I didn't see this actually.
Unitech, other builders, they are now getting together.
So thanks. Come on, let's start.
Are we meeting in the lobby there?
We can go in there. Here? If we can get the AC on there, we should go in there
we'll
and
go
start.
In there. Come.
So if we do get to Ravi's work and what Ravi has to recommend, then these are all documented evidence of commitments made.
It's already delayed by 4 years. Yeah, there are no regulations for this real estate business. We can't do anything about it.
So
you just have to live with it.
Already 4 years ago, you bought these apartments?
No. You bought them 6 years ago. They were supposed to be delivered
3 years back.
4 years back. And they are delayed by that long. So they were supposed to take 30 months to deliver. And they've taken over 60 now.
I paid my total amount at the booking initial time. Because then they gave you a certain discount, a 5-10% discount. So I paid upfront money. And like me, there are many others too. And it's not the question of, and by the way, we're not talking about small little 100, 200,000, we're talking $500,000 plus. $500,000 to $1 million US per apartment plus. That's big money. And these apartments that were promised to us, by the way, they were not advertised in the market. They were given to us by, we were invited to participate. So we felt we were a little exclusive and we were, a little privileged. And then, of course, there were second buyers and third buyers and the prices went up.
So there is no reason they should not have that money to deliver your apartment. If there is today, you're saying that there is a crisis, but that crisis cannot have for an apartment where money is already paid to 90 to 100%. How can that crisis? So it means they have diverted those funds somewhere else. That's the only thing they could have done. But if you were to just go by the logic of the valuation on which they took the money, then money should be lying in their bank account. And they should be using that money to pay for it.
That is where greed has entered. They've taken loans, they've taken our money, they've taken everything, and suddenly there's a crash in the world. So these guys are in trouble.
So what is their business model?
Ponzi scheme. What has actually happened is that as prices started rising and the trend was positive, a lot of that money was used to buy another piece of land and do the same thing, sell more dreams of apartments at higher prices. And the money coming in from there went into the third Ponzi, and therefore the whole cycle was going on. And that could go on because they could afford to delay the delivery here.
Yeah.
And the money was
because there was nobody to crack down on them. So they've taken the money here, used it elsewhere, borrowed some money, taken some more money. You keep doing that cycle, eventually hoping that you'll make $1 billion. And therefore the real estate developers here are actually billionaires.
This is the dining room, the restaurant, right?
I think it's only the lobby's floor which has been paid.
Only lobby. Okay. This is the gym. This is the glass gym with television and all that.
Now we are after their lives to give us our apartments, and they can't. They cannot give it because the money is not there. So the only way out is that they need to sell their lands and assets.
Their assets. They must sell what they have.
They must sell their
Which
Ferraris.
they must. And by the way, these people, they live like modern Mughal emperors and empresses. You know? They're living in fabulous homes, they drive Ferrari cars, and they have their private aircrafts and their jets and their helicopters and their resorts. Sell those off. Yeah, this is my apartment here on the 17th floor now, you know. I took possession, but if you see, I've broken everything down. Now, you're asking me why I'm breaking it all down, right? This is the reason why I'm breaking it all down. This is the reason. This is why I'm breaking it down. So that my children, my mother, and my home, my investment is solid and safe as promised. This is my wife in my bedroom. And this opens up. Now this was what they gave me. This is what they gave me. Like this. There was nothing in here. Shocking. This. Thank you very much for taking my money and giving me this. Have you made a hospital? Have you made proper schools? Is your sewage functional? Are your external development issues all taken care of? Infrastructure taken care of? You've taken the money from us. Why should we have to go through traffic jams, no electricity? Why should we have to depend on generators to burn our outer environment? Why should we be pulling out and sucking out water from the land because we don't get what we get, because there's no sewage and there's no water system coming to us? Why? We've paid for it.
But could you say, what is this?
The lights come, the generator will be off. The generator which is there,
It'll do a switch.
The switch.
The government power has come, the generators go off, and the government power takes over.
So now we're on the generator or on the
we are
government?
on the electricity.
Now we're on government electricity.
You can't hear the generator will go.
That'll go just now.
So how do you know on which, if you're on electricity
After
or
some
on
time, you don't care.
You don't care. Actually, it doesn't matter.
It is really sad that a lot of work had to be done by a lot of us. The seepage coming through the walls. Quality of construction was something we were a little disappointed with. Another thing which we were disappointed with was that this town was planned probably 6-7 years back. The builders and the local government knew that a huge township of 800 villas is going to come up. No provision for power was made. For the last 3 years, we've been living on gensets. There's a sound at the back, the constant humming. That's the sound of the generator. And when we got this house, we were not told that the generator is going to be next to us. So we have these humongous generators with which we've been living with them for 3 years, and these generators have been emitting smoke and diesel into the air.
Cheating, 420, robbery, dacoity. We've been advised that we have a legal case. With the change of systems happening in our world, in the democratic India, we do think we have a chance of keeping these people accountable for things like this. Am I mad to break all this down after spending all this money to get this redone again? Do I have so much money to do this, to waste? No, I don't have. Compulsion is making me do this. Do we just accept this like skunks, like stooping hypocrites? Accept it and then say, forget it. This is our lot. Absolute nonsense. Gone are those days when we Indians thought that this was our lot. Why can't we have proper bus stops, proper areas for people to wait, to drink water, toilet? Where are the toilet facilities? Look at these people on the roads. Where are their bus stop? Where is their bus stop? How do they walk? Where are the pavements?
The nexus between the builders and the government agencies did not plan things on a wider level. Major town planning which needs to go when you're building a township, putting the sewage line in place, electrical poles, water, transportation. There was no planning at all. Absolutely nil. The kind of mushrooming that's taken place, they've simply lost basic imagination that how are they going to handle such a growth. So the builders just did what they wanted to, and the Gurgaonites have had to work at it themselves to make it possible for them to live, make it more comfortable. So it's been up to a Gurgaonite to do it on his own.
Why is something like I Am Gurgaon come up? Because there's a gap, there's a lacuna. If it were as well planned as Singapore, which is one extreme, or the hundreds other new suburbs that come up outside cosmopolitan cities anywhere in the world, there wouldn't be need for someone like I Am Gurgaon. I think we'd be doing very different things. We are actually addressing issues which are squarely lie with the responsibility of A, the government, and B, the big developers, who I think have run amok.
So let's not just look at what we can get from our city in terms of resources or in terms of places to eat and, things to do and money to be earned, but look at what can you give back to your city. So that was, I think, the core of, I Am Gurgaon, that, that you are your city, do your best for your city and be positive.
And we've been sustaining it because we can afford it. There is a lot of expense goes into managing this whole outfit. So all the people who are here are able to take care of it.
A landscape architect called Swati has helped us with the various side berms and road islands and various areas, how we should go about it to start working on this beautification drive. I think it's one of the best investments we've ever made. It gives us a lot of joy to do something for our city. This entire thing is being funded by us. In fact, this is being done by my company. Incidentally, I am not a social worker, I am a businessman. But I've always been very disturbed by what's happening in our city, and I thought this should be my ideal, part-time profession. Very good. इसके ऊपर करना भैया ये मिट्टी हटा के.
I think this could have been a very different city. I think the planning per se has gone quite chaotic and wrong, which we're having to undo.
I want to start up something of my own. So I basically want to go back to my hometown and start my own venture. Let's see how it goes. But that's still some distance away. It's not in the immediate future though. But probably get into real estate development. It sounds like it's quite interesting. Quite an interesting space to be in.
and lots of the demand is always there. It's a growing population, and people in income levels are increasing, so you will always have many people who want houses. The profit margins are very attractive, and it's a space which is relatively unorganized even now in India. So there is lots of scope for some professionals to get in and kind of organize the whole industry. So I think this is actually a very good time to get in. So companies are completely bankrupt now. Frankly, they don't have too much cash. But if someone can get in right now, it'll be awesome. But I will probably get in the next down cycle. There's enormous scope to make money there. And India, there's a long way to go in real estate. There's so many people who don't have their own houses. Plus, there's an investment demand on top of it as well. So there's enormous scope for growth. Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to do this. So if I do this, I'll feel I've done what I was born to do, what I was meant to do, and I've done something special, something that I've always wanted to do. That to me is the biggest thing. And frankly, I love money, but I love the process of making money rather than the process of actually using it. I don't spend too much. It's a metric of success. The very fact that I'm making money makes me happy. Even though I'll start in Calcutta, I'll probably make it a national player. And let's see what comes out of it. But I would want to make it a huge brand name.